She Nerds Out presents Live from Purgatory.
Hello and welcome to a very special Snop Presents. We're going to Purgatory. We're sitting in my living room. Lots of emotions, lots of feelings. We've just finished watching Vengeance about 8-10 minutes ago. Anne is trying to figure out how to work Twitter.
I don't even know how to work my phone anymore.
How's everybody feeling?
Do we want to introduce ourselves?
You didn't say
My name is Kat.
I'm winded. Wendy.
This is Tara.
I've had way too much gin. I'm sweating, and
I'm sorry.
my name is Anne.
Get the air conditioning going.
I don't think it's that. I'm so stressed out by this show.
Turn on the air.
Nobody else is crying?
She's Anne Hicks-Bleeker.
I'm Anne Hicks-Bleeker.
She's having a moment.
So we've been pretty spoiler-free, right? Like, I didn't really see anything.
I watched nothing
Yeah.
other than the trailer.
Yeah, same. That was the last thing I saw.
That was the last thing I saw.
Yeah, I checked earlier. I wasn't too scared of the spoilers, and I was pretty impressed. There was not that many spoilers out there, or really none that I saw
That is
when
impressive.
I looked earlier today.
Yeah.
I will.
Because nobody wants Emily on their ass.
No.
You know,
That's true. Well-
like, are you kidding me? I told you not to spoil it. So, well, that was a bad choice of words.
I do have to say thank you very much to Jackie for helping me disable my pictures and videos on my Twitter because I knew I couldn't go dark for 48 hours. So that really helped. Twitter is a very different beast without pictures.
Right.
But I was glad because in the past I have gone for like the news, like when all the photos come out, I would gobble that up. But this time I just
different.
really wanted to pace myself and savor it.
Yeah.
And not see any of the new photos that came out this week.
Yeah, kind of same.
Mm-hmm.
Same. The special was a roller coaster. Started off with an immediate fan favorite being dismembered.
Yeah.
Strong start.
Strong,
but a
start.
beautiful
Bold choice.
But a beautiful, if short-lasted friendship between Nedley and Mercedes, which I thought
It was very cute.
And I love that they kept it on the down low, and it was very sweet.
That was so sweet.
It was so sweet. And then it was fishing that brought them together.
Yes, and Mercedes has her own like custom
A little fanny pack.
bespoke
Who knew they
angler-
make that
angler
for
fanny
yeah.
pack. It's so fucking cute.
And fun fact, Danny Kind has a giant fish tattoo on her back. So to like tie in this fishing element.
Is she an angler?
No, I believe it's her grandfather was a fisherman.
I love that.
And
That's
so that's why she has a
fantastic.
giant. This could be an Anne fact, but I do know the tattoo is
Anne
real.
fact.
But I don't remember.
Anne fact.
I think it's her grandfather.
All right. Well, I mean, if only there was a way to
Fact
find
check
out.
that. Shaggy, fact check it. Google. If you just Google fish
So
tattoo.
should we just
Danny
kind of
Kind.
walk through?
Yeah.
So that was the opening. That was like the teaser. This before the credits, right? That's how they. It's like,
that was before
That's a
the
teaser.
credits.
that was before the credits.
Okay,
Because then the Earp turned into the...
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they-
going back to
yeah.
the trailer where it was like he was in. Yeah, see, big fish tattoo.
Yeah, they used Mercedes' legs and
To
body parts
spell
to
her
spell
out.
Earp.
That was brutal.
Yeah, it was pretty
And in
nasty.
the trailer, how remember Nedley was in the cemetery,
Yeah.
and he was like, we haven't lost Purgatory hasn't lost anybody in a long time.
Yes.
So we're speculating who it could be.
Right.
And it was
Mercedes.
Mercedes, which
Mercedes.
probably should have been obvious, but you just never know watching the trailer. I mean, it looks like Mercedes was probably going to be.
I mean,
Could have been Jeremy because he is barely, you
Yeah.
know.
I feel like this was something that we
Did we say it was gonna
absolutely
be her?
speculated about.
We did, but
We
I
probably
didn't
did.
want to. I kind of like threw it out, like no, because I was thinking Emily Andress wouldn't do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things she did
Well,
that you didn't think she
here's the
Apparently,
thing.
I don't know her at all.
Well, here's the thing. Like, having seen it now, it's like not everyone can have plot armor.
No,
No.
I get it.
Like it's still a TV
It's
show.
TV. People have to
People
die.
have to die. I mean, if you think about Buffy,
Right.
they were like those were surprise deaths out of nowhere. Like,
And it was kind of funny. It was still funny. It was horrible, but it was
I
funny.
mean, what a bold way to start this special.
I mean, her head was just sitting in that box of pizza for the longest time.
But I like that she distracted her from Nedley. I mean,
She did.
dear
She-
Mercedes.
She wanted to
And
take.
she's like, the face has been through a lot, or whatever she said. It was, she
Yeah.
went down fighting like Mercedes does, and it was sad, but
And then
She
she,
died a
was
hero.
like,
She did
we
die a
go
hero.
way
Died a hero.
back. And it's so sweet because Wynonna, it's like the only friend Wynonna ever really had.
Yeah.
who stuck with her.
And
Real.
she like sacrificed herself, basically.
She did.
Yeah, I didn't. I really liked the whole thing, but I thought like they really should have played up Mercedes' wake. Somebody could have given a nice speech. They could, there wasn't a lot of. They kind of moved on pretty fast from that. There wasn't
Yeah.
really a lot of emotion shown for that. Even by Wynonna when she did come back and they got really drunk, which I guess is kind of what they do, but
Right.
um,
That's fair.
they just kind of breezed past it a little bit
Yeah.
for me.
I mean, yes, and just devil's advocate, they only had 90 minutes.
I get that,
And-
but I could have dealt with less fighting with the rando chicks
Fair
we didn't
enough.
really know,
That's fair.
and maybe
True.
You know who should have shown up and talked some shit? Champ.
I kind of expected him
would
to.
love-
That would have been
Yeah,
awesome.
Champ.
And then,
my
punch
God.
him in the face.
Yeah,
sure.
punch Champ. Yeah,
would've
that
been
would be
fun.
fun. Yeah.
But also, why did it feel like it moved so fast? Like
put a lot in there.
like a weekly show. It feels like it was more time, more
Right.
run time, but
Right.
it feels like it went faster than just a 45-minute episode.
I think there's a lot happening. Plus, just the event of it. I mean, everything. You're getting an onslaught of. She's back. Earp's back. And
Yeah.
it was. And whereas the weekly, you're getting one next week. You're just enjoying
Yeah,
the
you're
pacing.
pacing
Because there were a
yourself.
lot of scenes that were just them talking. Just a lot of just good interaction scenes. And I don't know. I think it was just good. It just moved.
Yeah.
They put a lot in there.
Yeah. It did move, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch this so many
Oh,
times.
obviously.
I have to watch it with
100%.
captions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed a lot.
I missed a ton.
I missed a
it's
lot.
so fast.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like out of practice.
I usually do watch with captions, but I thought it'd be distracting. Was that a mistake?
No.
should
No,
we have-
I agree. I like to watch it without the captions
Okay,
at
great.
least once, and you
It's
go
a,
back.
yeah.
it's a
to me, it's
polarizing-
distracting.
It's a polarizing
because
topic.
I don't look at anything.
Either
yeah,
you love them or you hate them.
yeah.
My wife Leah, who I'm married to, hates captions.
Yeah.
She does.
But
Because
I
you miss so
I
so
liked
much.
her
I
so
miss
much
what they're
until you
s-
said that.
I know it's
That's sad.
it's polarizing, but I miss a lot of what they're saying because I can't. Maybe I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old.
Maybe.
All right, so we had the ice fishing scene, the horrible Mercedes thing, Earp, and I loved the opening title using Earp in the
Yeah.
snow. That was beautiful and horrible at the same time. And then we had the credits roll, and everyone reacted when we saw Jan Arden in the credits. That was an audible exclamation of
Which
joy.
I have to say, that's something that I didn't do in the past because I didn't pay attention to those things.
Oh, funny. There
So
you go.
I was always just surprised.
Oh,
But
that's
now
funny.
that I'm not an amateur
You're,
anymore.
you're savvy.
Yeah, I'm seasoned.
And then Melanie has a co-producing credit, which is
Yeah.
very
All
cool.
right,
It's the
Mel.
first time. Good
Go
for you.
Melanie.
Good for you. And then what happened? Well,
We go to.
Was that where your notes
Where
end?
Flagstaff, Arizona.
Kat
They're
took
in,
copious notes for the first 5 minutes.
Tombstone.
Stalking Wynonna out in
Yes.
the
Tombstone.
Tombstone, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
At the
She's
casino.
going to go gambling. She's blacklisted. She gets to the table. She's pulled from the table.
And that was
Back to
that's
the-
when the theme music played because we didn't have
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
that's
right, that's
we didn't
right.
have the
Good music.
traditional opening
Yeah.
title, but we had the music and that was really fun.
It was nice to hear that we had our theme song back.
Yep.
They get taken into that back room
They do.
where we meet the gentleman that owns the casino. I guess it ends up being a demon
Yeah.
of sorts. We meet this guy Lafferty.
Right.
We don't really know his name yet, but he's there.
Yeah.
He's not very funny for a name like Lafferty.
Right.
It turns out Doc and Wynonna have kind of been doing like con artist stuff this whole time.
But,
Then-
you know,
Yeah.
for the greater good.
I wasn't sure if they were trying to get to the demon guy because he knew he was a demon, or I guess, but apparently they're just doing cons and they just randomly ran.
But
into a
I
demon,
think they
guess.
knew he was a demon because they made
Did
a
they?
comment. They made a comment that he was like, "What's your plan?" And then when she got on the ground and she was about to shoot him, she goes, "This is our plan to get into the back room where we knew where we I don't know."
Oh, okay.
But I thought they were trying to get to a safe.
Yeah.
I thought so too, but I
Was
also
she
thought
surprised
they
when
were.
the gun lit up?
I don't
can't remember.
remember.
I thought so.
I mean, she was surprised that she wasn't holding in it and let it lit up, but I didn't know if she was surprised that because there was a demon there.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
We're gonna obviously rewatch this.
Many
We are
times.
very fresh.
Yes,
right now.
we are
Yeah.
minutes from watching it, so please forgive us.
Yes.
Please forgive
This
us.
is a reaction, not a technical
Things
detail
have happened.
synopsis. This is emotional reactions.
Yes.
These things may or may not have happened the way we remember it.
We
But
might have been watching
that
a
scene was
different
very
show.
fun. It was good to see, Doc and Wynonna working together. And then, they have sex, which is great.
Yeah, we
Right
saw
there
a
in the back
little
room.
bit of butt. We
saw some butt.
Yeah.
little bit of butt.
And Wynonna says, does getting to the safe require pants? And Doc says no. And they just go at it.
As a matter of fact, no.
Yeah, we
Pants
got saw
optional.
just a hint of butt from Doc.
Oh, that was Doc butt?
I think that was Doc butt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just remember that we saw some Doc butt.
Okay.
We'll come back to
I'll
that.
never forget.
Some Tubi booty.
Yeah. So we already know that Tubi's it's a new level, right?
Yeah.
We didn't get to see butt on Sci-Fi. So
I don't
Well, we
remember
saw
that.
some things
You
of
saw
stuff.
You didn't see that's
let's
true.
not
I mean,
go
maybe not
down
butt,
that
but
rabbit hole.
We saw things.
Not full butt.
you saw
in
things. Do you
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah.
Right, things and things.
Things and things.
We're in things.
Anyway.
Touching things.
By the way, I think we did skip over
Yes,
before
please.
the Earp title. I mean, the fact that there was Waverly and Nicole. The reason that we saw the Earp, because they went out there.
Oh, right.
And Waverly was walking up to the
Oh,
Earp. Yeah, because
yes.
Bunny said he didn't show up for, what was it? Some
kind of karate.
karate
What kind of karate
class or
was it?
something.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
she looked
And they're like,
really
he's
cute in
probably
her
just drunk.
gi.
But then they go look for him. Yeah, she was all in her gi. And then they go out and look for him. And I think it,
Does anybody have a recap they can pull
or maybe, or was it after?
I feel like we're missing.
No, that
I
was
missed
before.
so much.
Was it before or was it,
It was
after?
because you're right. They discovered the Earp, and then that's when the titles came out.
Are we sure it wasn't
Maybe
when
that
we-
was
I'm not
after.
sure of
when we
any.
first saw the Earp? Because we
That's
saw
true.
The Earp.
Maybe it was the first time. And then after the
We saw the
Wynonna.
Earp before they saw the
Because
Earp.
then,
did.
that's
Oh,
right,
right.
because then after the.
Jackie, can you pull up a thing?
After they get out of the
Jackie's
back
so
room.
We're floundering
At some
here.
point,
We're
then I
floundering.
think they go
we don't
and
remember when.
then they
notes
find
aren't
the
gonna cut
Earp
it.
before they call Wynonna. You're right. So that happened.
I was
after.
impressed for a second, Cat. Not anymore.
And then I just got engrossed.
By the way,
Please
we
never trust me over
Bruh,
Cat.
those-
I will always
what are
be
these-
wrong.
What are
You know
these
that.
scribbles? What
My
are the,
next note is 69 cop cars.
That's
That was
right.
good.
Yeah.
But I don't want to
That's
jump
when they.
ahead.
No.
I don't want to jump
I just
ahead.
wanted to point out we've referenced Jackie a couple times. Jackie is live in the building with
Jackie,
us.
no, without Buster, and that's okay.
It's
We still
fine.
love you. Jackie's in the room, and Tara's lovely girlfriend. By the way, Rachel and Tara showed up in fucking costume with props. They nailed it. Thank you guys for what's the word? I'm
felt
looking for?
like it needed some cosplay
Yes,
tonight.
you elevated the evening.
Yeah.
Thank you
So
guys.
I am Doc Holliday.
You make a
Rachel
damn
is
good
Wynonna
Doc,
Earp.
and you make a damn good Wynonna.
I wore a
honestly.
mustache for this.
I know.
Rachel made a gun
She did. It's
out
a
of
beautiful gun.
Joanne
What?
fabric supplies.
I'm impressed. Is it like how much did you think?
It probably
you
works too. I don't know.
Well, point at
It
one.
only
Let's find out.
it only shoots fabric, but it's fine.
and buttons.
Yeah.
Incredible. So yes, and then Anne made us a signature cocktail,
Yeah, I made a Tubi teeny.
Tubi teeny.
It's purple and yellow.
We have quite the spread.
We have a Tubi salad.
Incredible.
Tubi
salad.
shots.
Yeah.
Very
shots.
nutritional. Okay, sorry. Anyways, Jackie, how we doing?
What happened next, Jackie?
I've got the breakdown, but it's only for the ending.
Well, yeah, I was
right,
totally wrong.
okay,
But so
let's talk through this. So they
There's a new cop car. It's 69.
Number 69.
They're
Because
gonna
there's
go-
definitely 68 other cop cars in Purgatory, right?
sure.
It had to be 69.
She
mean-
probably just picked her.
I
Yeah.
think she did. So okay,
But they've been
What's the
gone
next note after
like
69?
18 months, like almost 2 years. Do we
Nicole
know?
does this walk through Purgatory. It's like,
She's looking good.
hey everybody.
Yeah, she's like, hey, she's like
the
kissing
friendly
babies. She's
sheriff.
like walking
Yeah.
around.
Chrissy Nedley has a baby.
Oh.
Who's her baby daddy? We
don't
don't know.
You got it?
You got who Chrissy baby daddy is?
No.
Champ.
Oh God, that would be amazing. Great. Hold on. Okay. Your favorite demon slaying glass thing was Wynonna. Was brought to a halt. I don't know that I should be in charge of this.
Is
it- I mean, I feel
Is it like a
which,
recap?
That was kind of when
I
I
think
was
so.
speaking French. That was hot.
That was hot.
When,
That was.
when
I thought so,
Waverly was
too.
speaking all the French.
like that's how I want to learn that now a little
Yeah.
bit.
But Dom
sounded
does
good.
speak French. Yeah,
They seem very good at
very
it.
good.
So, Nicole's walking through town. She sees Waverly's Jeep. She's like, oh, I'm going to have to give you a ticket. And that's when we see Bunny, and tells us that Randy never came to karate. And then they go out to the woods.
Yep.
They make the horrible discovery, and they find Randy. Waverly immediately calls Wynonna. And in the meantime, Wynonna and Doc have a bit of a disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
My next note after 69 cop car is Doc glasses. Doc is so cute in his glasses.
Oh, yeah, he's cute, and he's got his little hairs all messy, and he's got
When
his little
did he have
glasses.
glasses
In the
on?
bed. They're just girl chatting in the bed.
He was counting all the money.
Yeah.
Girl chatting.
I missed
with
it.
wads of money. They said wad a lot.
And they had that disagreement where he's like, "You're a
I'm
terrible bluffer.
gonna have
You've
to
lost a lot
see
of
this
money."
in the rewind.
They had a fight. He leaves.
And
She
which
gets-
apparently he does a lot.
Yeah,
They're
that made me
alluded to
sad.
that.
takes
Yeah.
off for hours at a
that they've
time.
had some trouble. But it's
I mean,
nice-
hours at a time. What are they so codependent they can't be apart for hours? Like, come on.
That's a good
I guess she
question.
was like, it's going to be hours or days this time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So he leaves. She gets the call from Waverly, and we find out from the teaser what she means when she says, "What do you mean dead? What do you mean Earp?" Mercedes is dead in the shape of Earp.
Yeah, and I feel like even kind of the music choice there just wasn't heavy enough. When it was like, what do you
Interesting.
mean dead? What do you mean Earp?
Yes.
Because then it was kind of like, okay, she just kind of started flying around, getting stuff ready, and then it was almost a little wacky for me.
she
Like a
didn't-
little
you're
like,
right. She didn't look very upset.
no, she didn't even look that surprised.
That's why I was confused with the trailer when we throw in out names. Like, it did, like, she's like, I'm coming back or whatever. She's like,
Right.
it didn't seem like there was a really devastating sadness to
No.
whoever had died.
That's interesting.
And then when
So-
she walks in the door when she and come on out, Leah. Come
on,
You
Leah's
can
been in
come out,
hiding.
it's
We
fine.
gave
It's
some
your
clear
kitchen.
direction. No talking. No interrupting.
Yeah.
And Leah was like, "Can I come out of the room at all?"
And we
Like, yes,
said, as long as we
once.
don't notice that you
Just
come
one
in.
bathroom
You
What
break.
does she
one
do?
time.
She strolls in all obvious like.
Anyway.
You were saying.
So then when Wynonna does return home, she gets, what did she call it? The two something salute, where she gets the two guns pointed at her head. Yeah. And then they're all smiley, laughing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, welcome home. Oh my God. And I'm like, nobody's fucking sad, man.
Mercedes is like,
I'm fucking sad.
Yeah.
not just dead. Like,
And also, I felt
Like,
like,
ripped the
Waverly
fucking
was
apart, like-
drinking too much. Like, it was weird in the beginning.
who say that again?
I felt like Waverly was drinking too much. Yeah, it seemed really out of character. I was like, were they trying to set? I mean, okay, so backing up to like the hotel room. So we saw, like, there's tension, right? So like things haven't been great. They haven't been horrible for them while they're gone. But Doc and Wynonna have had like, this is what it's like to be together all the time,
right,
which they didn't do before.
They have issues.
And then like you get that sense that she's missed being a demon hunter, because like as soon as she busted open that closet and saw and put on the jacket, it was like, well, she even said like, I'm back or something,
Yeah.
I'm coming home, whatever. But then like, I think it was like setting us up for that Waverly's feeling like she's missing something in her life.
Right.
But it just seemed like that whole Waverly drinking so much and so kind of reckless was weird.
I don't know. I kind of buy it. Like, if you feel like you had the old days and boy, we used to have a lot of fun, and then somebody comes back who you used to run around with and get crazy with.
Yeah.
You're like, let's do this.
But did she even get that much drunk when Wynonna was around?
Probably, but yeah, I mean, I feel like before we know them, yeah. Like, it sounds like, maybe not actually.
No, remember sorry. No, when they used to make reference to like New Year's Eve, whatever, years ago, and they're like, oh, we got really wasted.
So it's off camera.
Yeah.
We've never seen it, but it's
Yeah, I suppose.
it's intimated that they used to get crazy.
Yeah. I mean, but it was cute. Like the whole like them by the fireplace, which we didn't get a bonfire, but
they got into a brawl at
Shorty's,
Mercedes' wake with
Yeah.
the two bitches from the home.
Yeah.
And again, like the introduction of those two characters. I mean, fine, I get it. You got to introduce, I guess. But I like too much time on them, and then they showed that the one really, it was a funny picture of Mercedes. Her wake photo with her boots there.
Oh, her boots.
But like, give a nice speech, give it a little moment there. I mean, she was a
we don't
character
know what
for 4
happened
years.
ahead
A,
of time.
a beloved fan favorite character.
Yeah, but it could have happened
This
ahead of
could have
time, but
been,
we
like,
would have liked to have
hours
seen
later.
it.
Well,
I
I know,
I
get that
recall
we
being at
joined the wake
somebody's-
later, but I'm just saying,
Even
like,
just to
instead of
see
hearing
the-
those two people talk that we don't know, it would have been
We could
a
see
nice
the end of someone's
to get the
speech.
weight, to feel the weight of it. I just didn't feel the weight of it. It felt very like,
we just
that
didn't
happened.
see that part.
No, and I
I'm
feel
sure
like it
happened. This
deserved
was
it
hours
because it's
later
Mercedes.
when they were ordering loaves of bread
Where's the director's cut?
because they've been overserved.
That is a
So we know this could happen in real
a
life.
reference to nothing in particular.
Deep cut.
But it was kind of fun, like, they were maybe the way that whoever wrote this was got
Emily, if you could have saw her face when she said that.
the way out of that is like, well, Mercedes would have wanted us to have fun.
Yeah.
And they did say that.
There was
Yeah.
a great crowd there. Like, there's like some drag queens and everybody was having a good time.
Well, maybe I'm just selfish and I wanted my moment for
Right.
Mercedes and I didn't get it.
Let's
That's
go around
okay.
the table.
I don't
I do
disagree.
want a little bit more crying at my funeral.
Same.
Yeah, me too.
go around
Y'all
the
can get
table.
drunk,
Let's go
but you
around the
fucking
table.
cry and say something nice.
Tara,
Cry
you
first,
want a
then
little bit
drink.
more crying? Wendy,
Yeah,
you want
of
more
course.
tears?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what you get when you're trying to balance the new audience with the old audience. So I think that's probably some of the give and take you had.
Interesting.
Good point. Hot take from Jackie.
Hot take.
Jackie, do you want more
30
tears at your
seconds of a
funeral?
sad speech.
Hot take Jackie
been
over
all.
here.
Hot take.
Listen, I've got some controversial opinions on things. Just we're not going to talk about them.
Okay.
Oh, we're gonna get it.
Ooh.
So
Where
the,
were we?
yeah.
Funeral,
So,
more tears.
Wake, drinking, fighting. Did they get kicked out?
Wait, I'm also
Well,
still
Nicole
mad.
escorts them out.
Right.
After
Remember?
a nice
Yes.
talk with Nedley.
Yes.
That was during, she left and talked to Nedley, right? Then
Yeah,
went back
because he
in?
was outside.
I like
'cause
their
he
chat.
said, like, I just can't bring myself to go in.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
he takes
And
it. He feels responsible.
so
Yeah.
soon. We don't even know what Mercedes has been up to this whole 2
No
years. We don't
idea.
know if she's seeing anyone. We know nothing.
We
Just
only that
dead.
she's a really good angler.
She's a good fisher person, and she's dead.
You know what? One of the lines I loved the most was when he said, "If I was younger, I could have gotten to the truck faster." This, and she's like, "When you were younger, you would have never been friends with Mercedes." I was like,
That
"Oh,
was
I
so
love
sweet.
that. I
That's
like
a
that
great.
a lot."
Whoever wrote that.
That was
really
good. Whoever wrote that.
It was a really sweet. We got
was a
Nic-
nice moment.
We got
It
a
was great.
Nicole and Randy sweet moment.
Yeah.
Their
And
whole
the-
discussion, I liked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Randy's good for those talks. He's good
Yeah.
for those talks.
Yeah, and it did show different, people grieve in different ways. So
Totally.
they're inside getting drunk, and he's outside. He's getting drunk too, but he's outside.
Outside. Yeah. I respect that.
And then she goes and yanks Wynonna and Waverly out, right?
That's
Right
right.
after that?
She kicks them out. And then
And,
she's,
And I think there's
drunk
some,
Wynonna was hysterical
oh my God.
when she was getting dragged out of there.
really
Yeah.
good. Really
Yeah.
fun.
and I think there was a few like drunken, passive aggressive comments about how Hot's trying to hold back Waverly or something like that. I don't know if that's when it started, maybe earlier, but definitely some little not so subtle comments about that going
Yeah,
on
for sure. There's
Yeah.
definitely they're planting more seeds of tension.
Yeah, and
Between everybody.
Wynonna makes a lot of comments when she first gets to the house about the amount of crafting that's going on and how Waverly's having to fill her time with all these hobbies.
That's right,
She
they had
doesn't
a
have anything
loom,
else going on.
right?
They had 2 looms
Yeah,
apparently.
she had a backup loom. Yeah.
And she said something about redoing the stairs.
Do you think she made Nicole's sweater? Is that what we're to imply that she's like made the sweater?
It's very
'Cause
possible.
Nicole was very sweater heavy.
I wonder why. I wonder why.
No reason.
So then we see Nicole back at the station. She's writing a report on her drunk.
Yeah, because she
wife
says, I'm
and
going to be up
sister-in-law.
all night working on this report.
Yeah.
Right.
'Cause she just has to put in this report.
Got to do it
apparently.
now.
I do like the parts where Wynonna was like, because this wasn't our regular homestead, because they rebuilt it inside.
Oh, it's a sound studio? Yeah.
And so it was funny how she was explaining, like, oh, so you moved the kitchen.
That was good.
So that was funny because, like, we know that's not what it looks like, but it was like, oh, you moved the kitchen.
Very funny. Wendy, you
Oh, well, yeah. And also, they had that little scene somewhere in there
Yeah.
before getting to Nicole at the office. Where Doc had returned to the hotel room and he brought her 2 coffees. He was just
Yeah.
out getting some. He came
Yeah.
back. He's like, oh, let's tie, whatever.
He's like, truce.
And he sees the note and,
He's gone.
he's out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
So yeah, brings us to Nicole in the office.
Yes.
This police station. Just working on her little notes
Yep.
there, and
Type,
then
type,
in
type.
walks this bitch again. And okay, so the title card there that it describes the Mina, is that this
Yeah.
person's name, as a evil seductress. Who was she trying to? She wasn't. I wouldn't call her seductress.
she didn't
She wasn't trying to
seduce anyone.
She wasn't. I thought she was going to be like a succubus
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
something like that. But I don't know.
I don't know who wrote that summary.
Yeah. Anyway, it just threw me off a little bit because I was
not-
waiting for that angle to come across,
For
and
her
it never
to
really did.
seduce.
It's not accurate.
Yeah.
Also, I missed how she, why is she special? How did something happened.
Well, we're jumping ahead.
Yeah,
but-
way ahead. They
get-
kind of
we'll
showed
get there,
that toward the end.
Should
They
we-
filled in that gap.
Yeah, should
Yeah.
we? Do you want to talk about it now, or should we talk? Or should we
Whatever
wait?
works for you. Is your podcast? I'm just confused.
So
at
me,
this point, we don't know.
Yeah, at that point we don't know.
Put a pin in it. We'll
Yeah.
come
We
back.
don't even
We'll
know who
circle
she
back
is
around.
right now.
Right.
No.
She's an evil seductress.
Yeah, you can't
That's what we
shoot
know.
her.
But they do hint
She
that-
can morph into
She
mist.
seems very tentacly. She's
Yeah.
gooey.
Tentacles.
Yeah. So she
Gooey.
comes.
Yeah, that's
in-
right. She came out.
Oh
like
yeah,
it oozed
they're
its
fishing
blood.
and everything goes. That's when
There's
I
like a
started.
goo whale
Immediately I was
underneath.
worried.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
A goo
Goo
whale.
whale.
A gale, if you will.
all right, so they're in the police station,
She shows up at the police station.
and Nicole's like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And
Hey,
then
hey, what's going
Mina
on?
picks something up and puts down Mercedes' head in a pizza
Oh.
box.
In the pizza box.
And she ruined
Brutal.
the pizza.
Yeah, that was good. That was fine
It's
pizza.
like a whole pizza, right?
Yeah. Perfectly good
Poor
pizza.
Nicole.
and
She was probably
just
gonna
Mercedes' shocked face
So fucked.
right there.
It was so
Just
fucked.
sitting there the whole
And
time.
it sat there the whole time, yeah.
Aw.
That's a entrance.
And then we kind of learned that Mina says, well, first Nicole knows what's up because she notices that Mina is wearing Nedley's lucky bandana. And so she knows this must be the person.
That bitch.
So right away, she just starts, they go at it as in fighting. And then we learn that Mina needs 3 objects or something.
Yeah.
About
she wants the wedding ring.
She wants
for one.
Nicole's wedding ring. Yeah.
Right.
So they get to a fight. Basically, at the end of that, to get the wedding ring off Nicole's finger, we get an occurrence much like what happened to Kat's toe.
It was. Was that
Foreshadowing.
Was that triggering for you? Did your toe tingle a little bit when that happened?
No, but I have actually broken a finger before, and
Yeah.
that I remember. I actually broke it twice. Once when sorry, Tara.
And it was
Once
Waverly's second
hold on,
favorite
I'm telling a
finger.
story.
Third
I
favorite,
lost
we learned.
interest
Once when I
already.
actually broke it, and then it fused together by the time I went to the doctor, so the doctor had to break it again in the
Darn.
office.
Oh.
Okay.
So I've been
You
there.
should drink
Nicole,
more milk.
Nicole, I drink,
Two broken
should drink
bones.
more. I should drink more of something. So sorry, Terry, you were saying.
Well, yeah, she just broke those fingers right off.
Did
Just
I
to
mean,
get
not
the
completely
ring.
off. Just to get the ring. It was unnecessary.
She could put a little
She
dish
was
soap
about to
on
just
her
pull it
finger.
off,
I
but
think
then
it was
she was
like
like,
some torture.
you know what I'm going to
she didn't
do?
have to.
No,
Snap.
She didn't have to.
No.
Snap, snap, snap.
But then, thank God, Doc walks in.
Yeah.
We learn
That was
that
great.
now that she can be shot and she doesn't hurt her
Right.
with a regular gun.
Well, and I wrote down T2 when Nicole got her in the cell, the whatever cell,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
she walked out as if she were the T1000. You
Terminator.
know, Anne from the Terminator.
Oh
2
yeah.
movie, yeah.
mhm. I do know, but I didn't know
Anyway,
that's what it's
yeah,
called.
bullets don't really. They kind of like stop her for a second, but they don't really do much.
Yeah, she can morph
Yeah.
through bars.
Right.
So nothing really stops her.
No.
Very scary, formidable, if you will.
Throwing Nicole around all over the place.
Yeah, she kicked her ass.
Yeah.
Doc shoots her several times. Nothing.
I kind of forget why she ultimately left.
Because she got the ring. I think she's
Oh,
like,
she
"Peace
just was
out."
like,
yeah,
okay.
she needed 3 things.
I mean, she could have just like killed him right there, couldn't she? Just like she did with Mercedes.
Probably could have.
Just ripped them all
Only
up.
kills
Seems like
when
that would have hurt
necessary.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Wynonna
isn't
a
it?
lot. Yeah.
Hmm.
But then we wouldn't have a movie, so that's okay.
You can't
Because
just kill
nothing else
everybody.
really stopped her at that point.
Right. She just left.
Yeah,
Or she
no,
could have killed
she-
Nedley too. You know,
she could have killed
everybody.
Nedley. She could have had, yeah.
She could have killed everybody. Interesting.
I mean, I feel like that would have really got her vengeance a little
Yeah.
bit. But not the writer here. But
No,
I mean, that would have really fucked her up.
that would have been, and that
Fucked us all up.
It would
I
have been
feel
a really
like. Something
awful
like that
movie.
didn't happen.
it would have been
but
really
it was too early for that.
so
She could have just ended right
20
there.
minutes in.
Yeah.
So that happens. What happens?
Well, then she
next?
gets. Well, Nicole or no,
Where's your
Nicole,
list?
Doc go back to the house. Yeah, what's next on your notes there, Kat?
You got the notes.
That was
Oh,
not a
on the
full recap.
notes.
That was not a full recap.
Do
It
you wanna
was
know,
like
do you want to know what's next on my
Yeah.
notes? Studio Bitchy 4. And then I wrote down cunt.
Good notes. Those
Which-
are good
So
notes.
I'll
Leaves us a lot
I'll
to
just
work
put
with.
these down.
Which whoever the girl, the villain is,
Yeah, Mina.
Jackie, what's her real name in real life? Karen Knox. Yes, yeah, I knew someone would know.
Thank you, Jackie.
Karen Knox. She had tweeted like a cunt joke.
Oh, funny. There you go.
A precursor to.
I love that. A
her
little
whole-
foreshadowing.
Yeah, a little foreshadow. That's the word I was looking for.
Fantastic.
Pretend I
so.
said it.
Doc brings in Waverly to, or not in Nicole,
Yeah.
where I think that's when Waverly and Wynonna are by the fireplace and sitting, right? Yes.
We're getting a thumbs up on that.
Okay. And then, it's like, oh no, what happened? That's my second finger. I think it moved to the third
think it was
favorite
third
finger.
favorite.
Yeah.
There are a lot of finger jokes in there.
And toe
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah,
and-
toe. There was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh,
she's
you'll
gonna
have
have
to
to
use a
use a
toe
toe.
now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and then then they move to the table, and that's where we get
Yeah.
that scene that we saw in the trailer, where it's like
Yes.
this feels more like a reunion or
Yeah.
a reboot.
Reboot. Yeah. Very cute.
and they start talking about how are we gonna beat her and all this, and then they get like a knock at the door. How does this guy show up? I forget.
Did he just knock on the door?
He just knocks on the door, and it's Lafferty, this guy
from the casino.
Right. I thought he was like a Dolls 2.0.
Right. And I was like,
oh,
why
so
are they
this is
bringing
new
this guy
Dolls?
in? Why
Yeah,
do we
it
need
felt
this
random.
guy?
Yeah.
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 But then, of course, that later we did see why we brought him in. But
Yeah. So he's there. He's like, trust me, I'm in Black Badge. Jeremy sent me to follow you guys. You need me. We need help. We need,
we need some
And Doc's
action.
the one that kind of is like, yeah, we need all the help we can get. And convinces everybody to let him work with them. Because he
Right.
just really, and he did throw out a story out there about how because they all were still trying to kind of cover up the fact that there were demons, right? 'Cause they're
Right.
like, we don't know this guy. We don't know if he's down with what really goes on here.
Right.
And he made up some story about, oh, well, it wasn't just, it was something else that drugged my brother off in the night or whatever it was.
Yeah,
So he made a
something.
personal story about it to get us all hooked, right?
Yeah. Bastard.
So he gets to join the team. From there, I don't really remember what exactly happens, or the order exactly of things. So I think they form a plan, and they're like, "All right, us girls, we're gonna me and Nicole are gonna."
the guys went to get the guns.
No, the phone.
Yeah,
it was
Doc
like a
and the
2-pair
guys
with
and
on a
those
phone.
guns and had
Yard.
their shooting contest.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
And then
Yeah.
Doc
They had
misses.
their pissing
and there's
contest.
like
Doc
some-
misses, or does he?
I think he does.
I think he missed.
there's
That's
some,
when I was like, Doc's done.
yeah.
At that
There's-
moment.
There was like a lot of talk about like he seemed softer, and he even
Yeah.
said like he's Henry now, and
Yeah,
he's
Doc
not
Holliday
Doc Holliday,
is gone.
and
Yeah.
and we know that he's not immortal anymore, and it's just like he can finally age,
Yeah.
and so like he's slowing down a little bit, which. Like
He's at a
Randy had talked
man
about
out of
too, like
time.
he was talking about, oh, if I were younger, and Doc is everybody's a little older, a little wiser, but a little older.
Yeah.
So it was kind of sad, and like just to see the look on his face too when
He looks surprised.
he missed, it was kind of like, oh,
He
okay.
looks surprised.
I felt really sad for him.
Me too.
I did not like
Yeah.
that.
So Waverly and Nicole went and did something, and then Wynonna says, "I'm gonna go." Said that she's gonna go case the home for wayward
That's
girls,
right.
whatever it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Did
Nice.
And she had a good
Waverly
one.
and Nicole started doing the research, right?
Yes, the research.
barn or
That's what they
something?
did.
Yeah,
Yes.
research.
Yeah.
Brown chicken, brown cow. Isn't that when that happened?
Was it?
No,
No.
that was way later.
Jackie has noted the time code on that. We're not there yet.
Save that for later,
Hey,
Ann.
at some point we got the flashbacks. Was it before or after this? We got the flashbacks of Wynonna and her friends.
Yes, the friends in the
I
barn.
thought young Wynonna was very well cast.
thought
like
so
her a lot.
too.
It's good casting.
Yeah.
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 Yes,
and I
we
like
learned about the
that-
seance in
Yes.
that.
Yes.
So there's a
Ah.
So we
seance
didn't see the
performed,
whole
but
thing, but something was happening, and then
something
they got busted.
perhaps got conjured,
Yes.
but they didn't realize it got conjured.
Don't
and those two
mess
bitches
with
from the
that
funeral
stuff.
were there, I guess.
Yeah, and it was. I sort of thought it was interesting because there was the third girl, and they
Right.
referred to her in the bar, and it's like she's at home with the kids or whatever. It's like, oh, where's the third girl? And so I thought it was going to be the third girl, and it's like, no, they just didn't bother to cast a third girl. There were three. I don't know why they had to have three back then, but then they just left the third one at home. in
Right?
the bar.
Why not just have three?
Yeah, or just have two originally.
Just have two. Yeah, that was-
whatever.
That's funny.
Writing.
You never know what happens.
Because I was thinking, oh, that third girl, something's up with that, and then
right,
nothing.
Or like
But-
that third girl, older. Yeah, was Mina, but it wasn't, because then we get another flashback when Wynonna goes to the wayward girls home, and we learn that Mina, looking exactly the same age,
Yeah,
was essentially
well.
the what do you call it?
Headmistress
Head
of the
headmistress
place.
at this wayward girls
Yeah,
home.
she was in charge.
But she, under the guise of like trying to help Wynonna, was really trying to, what was the
I
term
don't
they
know.
used a few times? Make her
small.
make her small,
Yeah.
or you're like, you're too much, Wynonna.
Yeah,
Tone it down.
Too much. You're a lot.
Which is interesting because in the beginning she was saying to Waverly, I'm too much for Doc.
Doc thinks I'm a lot.
So then it's like that, a lot. And then it's like, goes back to like, that's her she's got trauma from that, from being in that wayward place. So for her to say that and then have it all come back up too.
Yeah. So we see Mina looking the same. And then, right.
For good reason.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to make a point.
Yeah.
Like
she
hell's
looks,
no fun, but you don't age.
Yeah. And she gives Wynonna a book. And what was What was the name of it? It was pretty good. It was
Heal Thyself.
Maybe it's
Maybe
you.
it's you.
You. Amazing.
funny.
Whoever
So,
wrote that. That's
I like the
really-
way they did that flashback because Wynonna's just kind of standing in the
Yeah.
background watching it, and then it kind of fades back to her in the present.
And I love the end though, where the younger version walks back over to the window and they're just like she's just looking at her younger self. I like that.
That was
nice.
really good.
And I do like that the flashbacks that we did get flashbacks that were real flashbacks that like we've seen before.
Yeah.
I
was
love
cool.
that they used old footage and put it in there.
Then Wynonna finds the book in the present time
All
under a
this time,
mattress.
it just happens to still be there.
Still, I guess she didn't read it and take it with her. But
Don't pull the string.
There were no other residents after Wynonna left.
Apparently
Just
not.
Closed down.
Nobody looked under the mattress.
No.
so
Nobody
she
ever
opens this book and it
Right.
says, because in that flashback, there's a mention of Waverly, essentially, like, I need to save my sister. And so in this, or be there for my sister or whatever. In this book, it says, you're right, you can't save her, something like that. And then she's like, oh, shit. So she runs out of there. She calls the homestead and says, hey, you guys watch out because she's coming there.
Right.
She left that note for her.
So maybe the book wasn't still there. She placed the
Ah,
book
there
there
you
because
go.
she placed
There you
the
go.
note there too.
That
Okay.
Good point.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Thank you.
So then we're all running and we know something's going to happen in the homestead. So then this Mina chick shows up. She's outside the boundary, throwing firecrackers.
There you go.
And then Waverly walks up. And this was one of the scenes that was actually posted. The beginning of the scene was posted. A clip of it was
Okay.
posted.
Okay.
Where Waverly walks up and confronts Mina. And then she says all that like trash talk to Waverly. She was like, oh, talk about a glow down. Oh, you look old, girl. All that was in a clip they posted. And then we
she's
learn.
talking shit.
Yeah. And then she gives Waverly the goo again, or whatever her version of the goo.
Yeah.
And it possesses Waverly. And apparently we learned that this chick can cross the boundary if she wants to.
Very easily. Just walks right through.
And basically this goo, Waverly has the goo now, and this goo is possessing her to help Mina find the friendship bracelet
Right.
that Waverly made for Wynonna, because that's one of the 3 things that she needs.
But was she... Okay, I was confused by that part because was she part Good and part Dark Angel Waverly?
I mean, her hair changed. She
Did?
had dark.
Yeah, it
dark,
did. That slicked
dark-
back.
Dark Waverly hair was slicked back.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
it
her
was.
voice was like sometimes it was like speaking like I have to get it for her,
Yeah.
but then sometimes she sounded Dark Angel Waverly, right?
Yeah. It
Okay.
was
Well-
almost like they almost having a conversation to themselves.
Well, and also, I thought we could hear Mina saying like, "You need to find it." Like, I feel like we heard Mina talking too.
yeah. And then I
Waverly's
think
head.
it triggered the darkness in Waverly, and
Yeah.
that's already kind of there.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, Nicole is trying to stop all this
Yeah.
and is trying to help Waverly. And there's a lot of fun in there. Some of the comments Nicole makes.
Yeah. I didn't write any of those down.
Oh yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. I just remember there are a few in there. So she barricades her in the other room, and then she knocks down the door. Just everything is broken.
And then Waverly's coming out every once in a while saying, "Stop me! You got to stop me."
please,
From
Yeah.
You
doing
have
this."
to stop me. Yeah, which was cool.
And all the good jokes too, where Nicole's like, "Oh, we just fixed that beam,"
Yeah.
and like, all that stuff, and
Yeah. So they have a fight again. I don't remember the Mina like comes up in there.
Well, she came in the house
She
and then-
takes
Nicole hit Waverly, I guess, to knock her
with
back
the
to her
homo
senses or
sweet
something,
home
and basically
sign.
Right.
knocks the bracelet into Mina's hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, thanks.
And
bye.
knocks the goo crap out of Waverly because then Waverly's
and it
fine.
Again-
gave me the impression that like Nicole's had to do this before,
Interesting.
because when she was like, They were kind of facing off for a second. There's like a tiny moment of clarity, and she was like, "Sorry," and she's like, "Just do it." And to me, it almost seemed like she had moments before
That's
where
interesting.
like she had to knock Dark Angel out of her.
Maybe.
There's a conversation between Wynonna and Nicole, kind of like as they were walking, where they kind of allude to that. Oh. Like she's getting stressed out, and the Dark Angel kind of comes out.
Oh.
I missed that completely. Nice job.
Yeah.
Nice. Good spotting.
Thank God we have you here.
So then we've got after that fight, and then she just leaves. Mina's like, okay, I got what I want.
Bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was this then Wynonna showed up, right? So Wynonna's out there when she leaves.
Yeah. As she's leaving,
Yeah.
Wynonna
And
pulls
that's when
up.
she chokes her. They
Fight a little bit.
yeah, and then she chokes her and just tells her all the nasty, mean things. And that's when she pulls her locket.
Yeah.
And is like, "Oh, I'm gonna go for Alice next," basically.
Oh, right.
Because she wants hair. She wants a lock of Alice's
Was
hair.
and at some point was it when did she make the? Oh yeah, it was earlier that she made the reference with Nicole about the Dawson's freaks or something. So
Oh,
that was
right.
early on.
The Dawson's free.
But,
Right.
So this, she pulled the locket. Was there a hair in the locket that she got, or she just
Must have
pulled
been.
Eve and then was gonna go get the hair?
I thought there was something in there.
I think
but
she
don't
was
know.
gonna go find her and get the hair because I thought that's what they were talking about. That Doc was gonna go.
That's right.
To
Protect
get to
her.
Alice.
That's right.
Right.
And then they changed their mind and they're like, "No, we'll bring the fight here."
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she leaves, and then at some point, Waverly and Nicole are surveying the damage
Right.
and make a comment about, thank God we have a backup loom.
Yes. Very
They
funny.
see the soon-to-be cosplayed, crocheted cheerleading outfit. Apparently, Waverly crocheted.
Somebody will totally have a crochet.
Oh, it's happening.
It was the crocheted shorties, right?
No, it was a
Or
crocheted cheerleading top.
Crocheted. I don't want to see that.
Well,
then-
well, you're gonna.
I don't want to see that.
You're gonna see it in about a month, maybe less than that.
2-3 weeks.
Someone's
Oh,
up all night tonight
somebody's already
starting it.
on
Oh, there's plenty of time.
Yeah. And then they decide, well, everything's terrible right now, but I mean, this doesn't
I
have
don't
to
know
be terrible.
about you, but when
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
super stressed out about things, it's when I like to go to Funky Town.
yeah,
Sure.
and stress
yeah.
like the world's ending, like
Didn't right before that one of y'all said like, something like, "I guess we're not gonna get any something from them," like.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because it was
I
not a
think-
good. Everything was going bad.
Right.
I mean, it seemed like maybe the moment had passed. I feel
Yeah.
like somebody made
I
a
think
comment,
Jackie
and
There
then,
was about
pointed
half
out like
an
we
hour
only
left
had
at
like
this point.
30
Yeah.
minutes left, and I
Yeah.
said, "Well, where's Funky Town?"
and then there it was.
And then there was.
I guess they could make time
Funky
for it.
Town.
Yeah, and after we saw the Doc butt, we'll go back to that earlier. I was expecting a little more. I know that
too.
Caprell was pregnant, and but they could have used some creative angles.
Absolutely. I thought so too.
They could have had Nicole like on a couch and Waverly like bending down in
Tell
front,
us more. Tell us
blocking
more, Tara.
the belly,
What
blocking
other
like strategically
positions could
placed,
they have done.
blocking the belly, but you know what she's going in for. But
What-
like
and
Yeah, what
what
would
is
she be
going
going
no,
in for?
well, I'm going to leave it up to the viewer's imagination. But I'm just saying, from the back, like, could have blocked Kat's belly,
there are
right?
definitely ways to do it.
There were, but we just got some. It was like what, like 5-10 seconds, and then
It's
it kind
no
of
more
like
than that.
then it faded out.
It was like comparable to the barn kissing scene for me.
Oh, I don't think so.
You thought this was hotter than the barn?
No.
It was tamer. I feel
was pretty tame.
I
Pretty
don't
tame. I guess we're spoiled.
want to speak ill. I think it was maybe we're trying to reach a broader audience. So maybe it was tamed down a
I'm
little
sorry. Do people not like two attractive individuals enjoying each other's
bit. I am
company?
saying maybe more mainstream audiences.
Again. And
They can turn the channel and find something else. I get it. But
okay. All right.
I don't know.
I don't either.
There was a lot happening
Yeah,
and not enough of that happening. I
Right.
don't think.
I could have had
I thought that
few more seconds
scene
of
was
that.
going to
Few
go
more
on,
minutes.
and then when
I thought it was,
that
and because
crossfade happened, I was like, oh,
we were a little spoiled because that did happen in the stairs in 402, if you recall.
right.
And then we came
They
back
got the
after
stairs. Yeah, there was a
commercial.
fade.
Right.
And
And
we're
then,
like, oh,
that faded to black. It was like, oh, it was up against the wall. They faded to black, and then it came back immediately. And they're on the stairs like
then it was,
naked, pretty much. And then they're in the. It was
Yeah.
all
I
over the
guess-
place.
I guess.
So when I saw the fade, but then I saw the field come up, I was like, no, I booed because I thought it was gonna I thought they were
Yeah.
gonna push the loom off the table and
Yeah.
clear the table.
Yeah, that would have been good.
You know,
I thought we were gonna get like a ghost scene reenactment with like a pottery wheel.
They could
in
have
the
crafted
craft
a little
room.
bit.
Yeah.
yeah,
There's
they
a
could have
craft room.
blocked Cat's belly with like a pottery wheel.
There could have been
Yeah.
like decoupage. Oh, there were a lot of
And they're like,
Decoupage.
yeah, I'm gonna paste
Nothing-
your body. with
Nothing
this.
Yeah.
sexier than
yeah.
decoupage.
You know.
But no, I think we have been.
Yeah.
We've been spoiled. Yeah,
We're very greedy, greedy
We got the
people.
stairs, and we're never gonna
What
get that
did
again.
Emily call us? Thirsty perverts.
Yeah.
And I would. My thirst was not satisfied tonight, but that's okay.
I am still thirsty.
I'm still thirsty. I get
Just was
it though.
like,
I get it
wet our
though.
whistle a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's okay. It was there to get me wanting more,
there you
right?
go.
Right. Well, that's
That's-
what she said. You're gonna want more.
Yeah.
There you go.
It will leave you wanting more.
That
Are
is
any of these
true.
Audible stories gonna be like reading
Erotica?
fan fiction?
Well,
yeah,
they're not
erotica.
out Smut.
They are listed as mature.
Oh,
They are listed
there you
as
go.
mature.
Well, then maybe that's because they say cunt, you know,
Nice.
unless it's like during dirty talk or something.
It's like Cleat Q. There's like 5 cunts, a couple of
Got a
fucks.
warning for sexual references.
Okay.
Well, and at the beginning of the movie, did you guys notice it was just like strobing lights and violence? There was no sexual. I was like, oh, that's not good. That's not a good.
It
that's not a
said
good
something
sign.
crude language.
Yeah, just
Right.
violence.
It did not say smut.
It did not say smut.
No.
Anyway,
Or, sorry, no S and
so we should have known. We should have known. Anyway,
we were too busy looking
We-
at Jan Arden's stuff.
we were
Yeah.
so excited about
Clapping.
Jan Arden. All right, we digress.
so that happened,
It did.
and then it faded to the field. I don't remember what happened with
yeah.
the
Where did
field.
we feel? What was in
What was
the?
going on in the field?
At some point, Doc is driving with this Lafferty full
that when that
man.
happens?
I think that might have
Maybe.
been
Okay.
around then.
Okay.
And it felt kind of a little random to me. He basically tells him, he pulls the car over, he draws a gun on this
and he
Lafferty.
doesn't trust him.
And he's
Yeah.
basically like, I'm going to trust you since the day you walked up in there, not for a second. And he's like, you better get out of this car. I know you're up to something. And then Lafferty's like, oh, what are you talking about, man? You're making a mistake. And he's like, you never met Jeremy. Get the hell out of here. You ain't met
So
Jeremy.
southern
He's in
right now.
character.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
It's
enjoying this.
uncanny.
And he's like, what? Oh, Jeremy sent me. And he's like, get the fuck out of here. So he gets out and he leaves him just walking in the middle
Yeah,
of the
he
road.
does.
But he's basically like, I've been on to you. And I'm like, okay, I didn't see that, but all right. Glad Doc's on top of it.
Doc knows.
He's like, and then he shows up somewhere and he's like, oh, it's a family matter. We don't need him. And I don't remember kind of what happens after that. I remember what happens, but I don't remember how we got there. The little
I don't
scenes
know
I'm
that we
missing.
got anywhere. And then
Wynonna goes to visit her father and
yes, and Nedley
what's her
shows
name?
Yeah.
up.
What's her sister's name?
Willa.
Willa's grave.
Wow.
Someone made very strong drinks tonight,
I don't know who that would be.
Angelo shows.
and that's when Randy and Jello shots, and that's when Randy and Wynonna have a really nice.
Really nice
Another-
cemetery chat.
And Randy gets all the really nice,
He
touching
does.
scenes,
He does.
and it was really lovely. And
Well, she's all up in her feels about letting people down and da da da. And he's like, "Your dad was an asshole,
and your
so
sister was
your
like
sister."
a fucking mess
Yeah.
and a jerk.
Manipulative bitch or
She's
something.
like,
like that.
So
I let them
fun.
down. I killed them both. And he's like, "They had it coming.
Yeah,
Should have shot him
it was
twice.
kind of great.
We should dance in the graves." He's just like,
But yeah, he gives her a nice pep talk, and it
And this is where he
Motivates her.
comes up with that. It doesn't matter how. No one remembers how you won. They just remember who won.
Right.
That's right.
And he also says sometimes you gotta go where the fish are.
That's right.
Yep.
And then that's when Wynonna decides, okay. And I did not really get why she chose this.
How did they? Yeah, how
Because
did
that
she-
wasn't-
Why
how
did
did-
she think that they would come just randomly come to
Right.
where she was?
That to me,
Especially
that,
if her plan was to go get.
I got
eat
lost
bear.
a little bit there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it made sense somehow that I missed
I kinda
of
missed
why
it
she
too.
picked
Say
that
something
part.
about fentanyl.
Later she does.
I
Later
thought
she
she was
does.
gonna
I thought she was gonna
overdose on
OD, but-
drugs.
Oh, God.
And
She
then,
didn't.
And then
I
have
thought that's
Nicole
exactly what was going to
Narcan her
happen.
bring
Yeah,
her
I
back.
thought so too.
Really?
I
Oh.
was
Yeah,
weird.
and
I thought
she
it was
left
weird
with
that she
something.
left.
I thought she left with fentanyl.
Yeah, because they mentioned fentanyl a
I
couple of
still
times.
gotta watch this again.
Jesus. That's
Yeah.
I
dark.
thought for sure that's what she was going to do, was like stop her heart long enough to
Yeah.
die
I
and
didn't
go
get-
to hell.
I didn't get that at
which
all.
I guess she did when she froze.
That would have
in
made
the
a little
water.
more sense to me than what did happen. But
Rachel agrees.
that's a different. We'll get
Strong
there.
head nod
We'll get
from
there.
Rachel and some aggressive pointing.
Okay, so
Okay, so I heard fentanyl.
we go to this.
You did.
Yes,
But
you
I didn't
definitely.
Put those, I didn't
Okay.
put
And
those two together.
I'm with you, Anna, on
Okay.
that one. So we're at this
Mill or
rando
something?
building, this
Yeah.
mill,
Farm or something.
for some reason. And I thought that, again, I thought Wynonna knew something that I didn't, that's where this lady
Right, how
was.
did they know the hellhounds would come there?
Right.
Right.
I have no
and
idea.
where did the hellhounds come from? Like
And
all of a sudden
they
they're
kind of they talked
hellhounds.
about them. That's when
Did they?
Waverly spoke French, which we
Okay.
talked
Oh,
about
did
being
she
very
Alright,
hot.
summon
that's right.
them?
That the Mina was working to summon those
Okay.
hellhounds.
See, this is
That's why
gotcha.
she needed the the items,
why
right?
I need
And that the
caffeine.
hellhounds
Yep.
are relentless. But
Okay.
Why
again,
there?
why there? I don't know.
Oh no, she said, she said like she strategically picked that spot because they had like they had a good view.
Well, strategically, yeah, but why?
There was no other way in and
why-
out of the city. kind
But
of.
why did the hellhounds?
I guess
Why
they
were they
just
there?
knew where to go. 'Cause
Maybe they just
knew
they
were
wanted
s-
to be at a certain place when the hellhounds did.
I
come.
Yeah,
guess.
they
Maybe
wanted
that
to
was
be
it.
somewhere they had the upper hand.
The whole thing was go to where the fish
Right.
are.
Yeah, and then there was another comment later where she was like, "Oh, I guess I have to go to where she is now."
Wynonna went.
Right.
So I
Which I
guess
thought
that
was the-
wasn't going to the fish
Yeah.
right then.
I see.
She
That was
went-
just
It seems like
strategically
Wynonna
placing
then
yourself.
thought about that.
It was
at
confusing.
Later, though.
It
Yeah.
was confusing for me.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was because then
did
Wynonna
too.
definitely brings it up again and goes, "Oh, I guess now I'll have to go to
Now
where
I
they
have
are,"
to
Yeah.
go.
which
Okay.
means hell.
which is
So then-
underwater. All
Somehow
this
Nicole
time,
knows
I
what
thought it
she's
was
up to,
somewhere
and
else.
she's like,
Everybody knows hell is underwater.
she's like, "Babe, can you hold down the rifling off these hellhounds while I go chase Wynonna because she's about to do something stupid?"
Right.
It's about
don't
time.
trust her. Yeah.
And so then she runs down to meet Wynonna. I'm still not really sure how. If Wynonna, they kind of run into this mill barn thing, and meet up, and then that's when Wynonna starts talking about fentanyl again, and she's like, she's talked about hell. I got to go to hell, and you know what they say about fentanyl or something.
Yeah.
Like says something about that again, and then
so
Nicole's like, "Are you
weird.
sure you can't? You shouldn't do this?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm sure." And then
Damn.
Nicole's
She
like,
grabs- that's when
"Okay,"
she grabs the box
and she gets something.
I
yeah,
missed all
the,
that.
the
funky,
little-
whatever it was
Demon
called.
catcher
contraption
trap.
that yes, that was in the craft room earlier.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I absolutely thought she was gonna purposely OD on fentanyl.
Oh my god.
And
then
that
have
Nicole and that
would
would
give
see
her
Kathy and I
the
were watching a
yeah,
different
the
movie at
Narcan.
this point.
Fuck, that is so dark.
Well,
Yeah.
How did we
alluded
get there?
to that.
She still went to hell one way or
but
the
then
other.
she runs off. Okay, and I'm like, well, now where is she going? She runs to the lake.
Right.
To okay, and then again, why there, and how would Wynonna know?
Someone must
Well,
have
that's where
mentioned it
she
at some
originated
point.
from.
And
Right.
someone, you just
But
assume someone
Wynonna
told her
wasn't
that.
there. She didn't
No,
see the.
but
She did
Natalie-
not see the whale, the
But
goo
Natalie
whale
probably
swimming around.
said-
said,
her
like,
in.
listen, she came out of the fish.
Yeah,
were
I'm
all
sure they
biting,
told her at some
and then
point.
she came out of the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when they ran
But
to
basically, the
forest.
thing is, she just needed to die. So she
I guess.
Drown
picked
herself.
there. So here's the thing. You tell me what happened because I'm not really sure. So she jumps into the cold lake
Because she likes a wet entry.
to die. She
Right.
likes wet entry
That is correct.
to die. Well, so she's she gets
Sent to hell.
Yeah, she drowns.
Sure.
So then she goes. But then she goes to the specific. Now, did Mina really go to hell? Or it seems like she got trapped in whatever that rock thing was. And some kind of especially.
Well, no, they had the flashback.
They
where
had the other flashback. This is where we get the other flashback of how
Because
she
she
is in there.
calls the police on young Wynonna.
Right.
The police take her away. She's like, I gotta find the bracelet Waverly made for me. So then Mina goes back into that barn and finds it. She's like, gotcha, Earp, or something. And then the demon or whatever they had conjured up earlier comes out of that rock thing and like pulls her back into that rock.
But was
And then she's,
Mina
like,
the
essentially
demon when
trapped.
she said, gotcha, Earp, and
I
grabbed
know. I
the
think she
brace?
was just trying to screw
No.
over Wynonna,
She
and
was
then
trying
it
to fuck over her.
yanked her into the
Yeah,
thing.
I think she was
It
just
yanked
That's when
Mina
she went to
into
hell.
the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
turned her
And she never saw Mina. Nobody ever was like, where'd
Well,
Mina go?
Guess not.
and don't pull the string.
I don't know what happened.
No one cared about Mina. They probably she was a crazy lady.
Well, that's
Took
when
off or
that
something.
home
So was
went,
she
you know,
in that
went under.
rock
That's,
the
you know,
whole
Yeah, there you
kind of
go.
abandoned.
That's
She
right.
was in hell or wherever the rock pulled her to, I guess.
But that's where, yeah, but then it kind of confused me how Wynonna instantly went to the exact spot where
Mina was.
Mina was, and all of the hells.
And if
Hell's got to be a big place,
and Mina's
right?
been up on the surface this whole time. Like, why was
right.
she back
Why
underneath?
was she down there? What was she doing down there?
Well, she was doing some sort of ritual.
yeah.
She had the 3 items.
I guess she knew she had to be down there because she was conjuring the
something.
And then,
hellhounds.
so then somehow she sucked her into the ashtray.
After
Yeah.
shooting her over and over.
Get your
She basically
mind out of the gun.
she basically decides I can stay down here as long
But
as I just
also
keep shooting you
Peacemaker.
and keeping you
Right.
down
She
here.
kinda
was like, I
badass.
don't care if
Yeah.
I win, I'll just torture you.
Just
forever.
make sure you
Right.
keep
Do
losing.
this forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by this time, we had like 12 minutes left. In
So
the
which
movie.
I don't understand why she couldn't have just opened that thing in the first place. Why then they have to she had to get Peacemaker and then she opened it
Well,
up.
I
or
don't know
something.
why
Yeah.
Wynonna never has to reload Peacemaker.
Magic bullets.
Why was Peacemaker glowing blue for Mina?
I don't know.
Oh.
Should we know this? Is this a thing? I don't know.
So yeah, then
Peacemaker glows blue for when it's
not
like,
a demon.
Well, when it's like
When it was
feeling,
Willa. When it was
right.
Willa.
When
was
it's like this
blue.
isn't the best thing, but it's kind of like when it's remorseful. I think.
remorseful.
so
Interesting.
sad Peacemaker and
Sad
this Mina
It looked so sad.
get sucked into this thing that apparently, and they kind of play it off earlier as like, oh, this is all junk that's laying around the homestead that Waverly's
You
been
knew that was
collecting.
gonna come in handy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
for
mentioned
sure.
this like contraption that like essentially keeps something.
Yeah, it's like the Ghostbuster.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's-
exactly.
and apparently it works because they take it along and it works and that's it.
Yeah.
That's she's in there.
And she's got Peacemaker.
So then Wynonna's like, oh, well, I guess I'm down in hell now. And then she sees a hand reach out, which is Waverly, obviously.
Yeah.
She takes the hand, and then she's pulled up back through the hole.
Absolutely.
The ice fishing hole.
Yep.
She's pulled up.
Yep.
She doesn't really look that wet. And she's just like alive and talking just fine. I thought they're at least going to have to pull her out. She's flaccid there, right?
Whoa, that's an
Right. They
interesting
didn't have
word.
to give her mouth.
Then they have to give her. They have to give her CPR.
nothing.
Hot's got to get in there, give
Right.
her CPR.
I think-
Why
And
isn't
then
it?
Hot
no.
would have had to put her lips on her.
Oh
and
yeah,
everyone would've
mouth to mouth.
freaked
That's why
out.
I don't think she dove and died. I think she dove into some sort of hell portal where they came out.
See, I
Of
don't
it.
know.
I don't know. I
'Cause you're
thought
right,
she was
should have
having to
been
kill herself.
revived.
She
They
is,
should have
would
had
have need to
revived her.
revive
she's
her.
the Earp heir. She has super
Yeah.
powers.
Well, without the gun,
It
what?
just
She's still the heir.
the optics of it didn't look
Right.
right for me. The optics of that.
But also, they're shooting in Calgary.
she's
It's
just like, oh hey,
20
and then she just kind of
below.
like, oh.
You can't freeze your star.
They could have done that.
They
in a
were
studio.
in a studio for that. They were not in some tiny little trailer.
Somebody
With a
could have
pool,
I don't know.
Spray her with a spray bottle like a cat.
Only we
Jumping
can
on the
ask
table.
someone.
She was barely wet. And the fact they could have had this big dramatic scene, they got to revive Wynonna.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
that
was
would
a
have been
lost
nice.
opportunity.
They were just like,
for
oh hey
mouth to
Wynonna,
mouth.
oh hey,
I mean, that would have
and
been
then they
that would have
made
been pretty good.
yeah, and then they kissed in front of her, which was funny.
That was fun.
Because didn't she say
Oh, yeah,
something
that was
like,
for
She's
sure
like, come
funny.
on.
Didn't she say fuck Waverly? And then Nicole's like, that sounds fun or something.
Fucking Waverly? Yeah.
Fucking
yeah.
something like, yeah, that sounds great.
That
And then
sounds
they
lovely.
leaned in, and yeah, it was fun.
Wynonna just kind of
Like,
rolls her eyes behind
come
him.
on.
Yeah.
Come on,
I
guys.
started panicking early on because Wynonna was doing all that talk about Waverly and the Jeremy thing,
Right.
and we still hadn't seen Jeremy.
Yeah, which was like, okay, this
And
is
so,
weird.
like, we had like 30 minutes left. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, they're setting this up. Nicole can't leave the Ghost River Triangle.
But Waverly
always
can.
wanted to travel. They're setting this up. She's going to
Yep.
leave. And
Yeah.
we still haven't seen Jeremy. So
Yeah.
there's no time for Jeremy to, like, make this proposition and for her to go and come back or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, great. She's leaving.
Sure.
So I
Yep.
totally felt that coming. And then I can't believe
Well,
Doc is
Well,
dead.
hold on.
hold on now.
So they take,
Did you
Wynonna.
not know Doc is dead?
Listen, Anne.
Dead.
Let's go in order.
talk about. They didn't even cry at that funeral either.
We didn't see the funeral.
Yeah, he moved on kind of
So
They moved on
anyway,
real
they
fast.
they get Wynonna out of the ice. They go back to where the train and the mill is, and then we
Right.
find out that Lafferty is in fact a
Bad
double
guy.
crosser. And Doc
He's
was
got a team with him now,
Doc
too.
was right all along. He has a team from BBD or whoever, and he takes the box and he gets the hell out of there.
Doc chases him on a horse.
He does. It's so good. He gets his horse.
He got a horse.
He finally got his horse.
He
Right before
confronts
he
him
died.
at
He-
the.
some great Doc riding footage across.
There
the,
was they had a little bit of a westerny
it was really
music
cool.
cut in
It
when
was
he was
nice.
Yeah. Then he confronts him at the edge of town, and there's
That's
about
right.
6 of them
That's right.
against Doc.
Mm-hmm.
And Lafferty's like, "Ha ha! You'll never. How you expect to do this, old man?
Oh,
You're old.
Right,
You're old.
washed up. You're not as fast.
You're 37.
Yeah, you know, washed up. You're 26. You're decrepit.
26. You're an old
And it
timer.
did seem way too good to be true that he was able to shoot like
Yeah,
7 people
yeah.
at once.
Because then it's like pop, 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 pop.
And you literally feel like,
And
did
you
you hear more
watch
than
all those 6 guys fall down. You're like, yay, Doc.
Did they have all those shot sounds? They were just really quick. 'Cause I don't remember
unless they're all
hearing
just
it.
one big. No, I don't.
We'll have to go back and listen
Yeah.
to that.
But they all fall down.
And so then we see somehow, even though it looked like Doc rode about 5 miles chasing these guys out of town,
He somehow managed
Then
to walk
somehow-
back on it.
right.
There's shortcuts to a lot
then
of places.
Wynonna's walking
took an even
towards
shorter
him.
cut.
He's
Uber.
walking towards
took
her. They
an
meet in the
Uber.
middle, I guess.
He
even
seemed
though
like
about
he was
2
walking fine
seconds.
for a minute, and then all of a sudden
No.
he looked like he was struggling.
It looked like he was. There was
I
something.
thought it was just because he was walking through deep snow for
I
a
see.
minute.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
something.
And then it
there's
was
something
like,
off
So
about
Doc
it.
raises up his hat and he's like, hey. And then he's like, nah. And then he falls over.
God damn it!
And again, Wynonna gets to him real quick. Realize, fuck, he's hurt.
He shot. He took a bullet.
And Wynonna's
From
like,
there
you'll be
on, I'm
fine.
a
You'll be
mess.
fine.
What'd you say?
From there on, I'm a mess.
Yeah. It was a lovely scene between the two of them. I guess that's Doc's death scene. I was like, no, come on. This is not. They're gonna.
No.
It's gonna be okay.
There was no time left. It was over.
Dude, from when they were on the porch and he was talking about how they were talking about how they're gonna build a farm right there.
No.
Yeah.
As long as I can lay my head down,
And
like
she
by the
sounded like
earth.
she was
I was
down
like,
with it
he
this time.
is done. I knew.
Really?
I thought from the moment he missed the shot and he had that look, and then when they had that conversation, I was like, there is no way he's getting out of this. And then at the end, I was like, okay, all right, I was wrong. And I'm like, oh crap, now he's.
You were right.
I just thought this. I couldn't believe she would do it, but I was like, there's no way they're talking about their happy ending and then they're gonna get it.
Well,
No way. So
yeah. Then it kind of cuts to her putting rocks on his grave,
my
and it's like 2
God.
weeks later,
Like,
and
what the-
Jeremy shows up, and essentially she's heavily alluding to the fact, like, all right, Jeremy, you're
Fix
gonna
it.
fix this, right? And you're gonna like looking at Doc's grave.
Yeah.
And Jeremy's like, yeah, we got a lot of resources here at BBD. We're going to do everything I can to fix this. And she's like, no, you're going to fix it.
I just hired a really good researcher.
Right. So basically, he and Waverly are gonna fix it.
Right.
'Cause he hired
But
Waverly.
heavily alluding to like, you got to fix
You gotta
Doc
bring him
being
back.
dead.
Yeah, you got to bring him back.
Which
what
you know
about
that-
what about fucking Mercedes? Nobody gives a fuck.
Well, maybe it'll be a BOGO
Well,
special.
you figure out
it.
one, then you can
test
yeah,
out.
but that's going to
You gotta
come with
stitch her
repercussions
back together, and
because
then-
look what happened to dolls. Like,
Yeah.
none of this experimentation that BBD is going to be doing is going to be
But
good.
Jeremy's in
You can
charge,
get like a
right?
Frankenstein.
Still, it's Franken dolls.
Yeah.
That's not going to be good.
Franken
Something's going to be wonky.
Yeah, and I'm shocked that Wynonna even is like pushing for that because of how, when he became a vampire and he was like immortal, she was all vehemently
She's
against
not
that.
into that.
I'm not into
into
the undead.
Yeah, but
That's
now
not-
it's like, do you want him back or do you want him? I mean,
Right.
given the options,
And does he even want to come back?
I don't know.
Because it's not like he was killed by supernatural means. He was just shot.
He was shot.
Yeah,
It's not like the goo lady got
I
him.
love how Emily was like, we weren't going to do it unless everybody came back, and then she killed them all. We're not going to do it unless you come back, Danny. By the way, we're going to kill you 3 minutes
in the first scene.
Yeah. Oh, we're not going to do it unless Tim comes back, and then we're going to kill you. Kill them all.
Kill them all. I
Kill
mean,
'em all.
that reminds me of another show that
killed them
killed
all, of course.
a beloved character, and
Yeah.
assuming they'd come back to bring her back, and
Sometimes you don't know if you're going to get that chance.
And what about that whole it was a real quick part where they were in the craft room and Waverly and Nicole were talking, and then she said about do you want to talk about the other thing?
Oh,
And she's
oh,
like,
yeah.
the K thing, and then she
The
was
K
like, you mean
word.
kids? And then
Oh, yeah.
does
Nicole's face got real excited.
yeah.
Yeah.
and Waverly was like,
And then it was
It's
just
like kite surfing or
gone.
something.
Yeah.
I don't want. I don't think Waverly wants kids.
And then we glossed right over the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot to revisit. And,
Well, I mean, it's
you
like
know.
it was dropped for a reason. Like, there's all these things to build upon something else.
of course, yeah.
But I can't
Yep.
believe she left at the end.
I mean, I do. I mean, that kind of makes sense.
I get it. It's all good TV. Like,
Right.
all the happy can't be all the
It's
time.
not-
We need
it's not-
drama.
Exactly.
But from the minute he died, I couldn't enjoy all the rest of it because then she's leaving.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, this is kind of a cute scene with Wynonna in this geeky little cop
I
outfit.
didn't recognize her.
Yeah, she looks totally
I don't
different. It was
I
really
like,
cute.
Who's this
I
random
know,
deputy?
who's this rookie?
Like, really?
And then there was
she
a
has a
rookie blue-
line.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's fucking Wynonna. Like, oh, okay.
But I just couldn't barely enjoy that thrill. The tears on my face.
Yeah.
So I'll
Yeah.
definitely have to rewatch like 900 times.
So Waverly and Jeremy are going off to do whatever they're going to do, and Wynonna is now a deputy, which is really funny. And she was like, "I can't believe I'm a cop."
Dude,
She looks adorable in that outfit, though.
very cute.
And I guess Hot and Wynonna are gonna hold down the fort.
I want to see that. You know?
Yeah.
That's the
It's like no leather jacket, just like a regular cop outfit
Totally
with a
dorky looking,
ponytail
like,
baseball
love
hat.
so dorky.
Yeah.
But like also, this thing's gonna reappear at some point.
Well,
like
it's still in this fucking
we
box.
could get a show where like some kid is playing with a trinket they find at an antique shop, and then they open it up. We've all seen
Right.
Ghostbuster when that thing opens up.
But they have it, right? It's still at the homestead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's buried with Doc, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. She said I buried it.
It's buried with
Yeah.
Doc.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
So it's around.
Oh, what could go wrong? What could go wrong?
So I think that was the gist of it, I think.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how's everybody feeling?
Well, here's my question.
Yeah.
When the show ended,
Yeah.
everybody was happy. It was perfect. and you want more, and you got more.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're glad it's back, but is there a part of you like, man, we were in such a good place, and now?
No, this is like, I don't know. She has something up her sleeve.
Yeah.
I certainly hope so.
There's
I
always,
think there's already something ready.
Yeah. I'm happy that we have
I'll
this.
bet on
I'm
it.
happy that we have this. I'm okay
Yeah,
with
we
it.
got word of some Audible stories coming out too that seem unrelated. To the ending of this.
Right. It seems like they happened before Vengeance.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like we could get more.
You think we're gonna Earp again?
Yeah,
after
I just
Audible?
don't know how long it'll take.
I feel like I saw a tweet from Danny, something like, "Hey, this is great. We should do this every 10 years." And I just thought, 10? Come on
No,
now.
I don't wanna-
Come on
I'm
now. We
getting
don't need to
too
go
old
10.
for this.
Don't need to go 10. But I feel like I don't know that any of them would want to leave it like it is.
No. I'm sure Tim
know?
doesn't want to leave it like it is.
I mean, sometimes you have closure with, the end of Doc Holliday. Like, I feel like, for sure, that, but like, even Waverly and Nicole, did they really want to end that with like, you can't leave that one apart.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, Doc died to protect his
Right.
daughter and Wynonna.
Yeah.
That's a pretty great way
It's
to end his story.
That's why I feel like just that, like, it's the end of his story. But I feel
Right.
like I can feel like I could see her coming back and, maybe she brings Doc back, maybe not. Although Tim would love to do it, I'm sure.
Of course.
But it's like separating Way Hot when that's been such a big part of this
Yeah.
whole thing.
It's
I mean, not that Doc hasn't, but like to
It's
leave
risky.
them separated,
It's
I feel like
risky.
that's got to have something planned. I mean, and maybe not, but maybe
Well, it's
hopefully
like, yeah,
planned.
I could
but-
set
hope so,
up
too.
like we could have just Purgatory adventures with the police department,
Yeah.
right? And then like tiny vignettes of like FaceTime calls from Jeremy
Egypt.
and
Yeah.
Waverly. Like, we're working on it. We still haven't gotten
no pyramid
anything yet.
schemes.
Or we could have the other half. We could have the BBD half.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So me back here and
2 years.
2 years.
Oh,
2 years, 3 years.
boy. Interesting.
The other side of that is it could be setting upstairs 2.0 when Waverly comes back from Egypt.
Yeah, but that, Jackie, come on. That's going to
Oh
be
my
so
God, we
long from
didn't-
now.
We saw the staircase, but we didn't see upstairs, did
We
we?
never brought up the angel shield portion of Nicole and why she couldn't leave.
No. And did we see the back of her head?
No.
I was
I think
wondering
it
if
was
we'd
practical,
see.
So they probably just didn't want to mess with it.
That's interesting.
That's true. They never mentioned why she couldn't leave for anybody new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. You wouldn't know why.
They may just assume, well, she can't leave because
'Cause
she's
she's
their
gotta
Vera.
work, yeah.
Right.
but-
Because
Yeah.
she didn't say, she didn't flat out say she can't leave, did she?
I mean,
Like, if we didn't know she can't
I
leave.
have no idea.
She implied that she couldn't be the one to show her the
Yeah, she
Right.
wanted to be the one that showed her the world. Interesting.
I missed a lot.
Interesting.
It seems like Black Patch could work on that too, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Figuring out a way they could go.
Like, couldn't she just put on a special coat? Like a cloak of invisibility or
Like a
something?
Technicolor
I feel
dream
like
coat.
they should
Yeah.
have something out there
Just
that
some kind of shoes,
you know.
something, a hat.
Some kind of shoes.
Shoes would probably work.
Well, I think there is one way that we can ensure that we get more is that people got to watch the shit out of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, whatever device you own, you need to create a bunch of email addresses and sign up, and watch. Just let it run.
Just play it
all
again
day.
and again and again.
When you're, doing the dishes or whatever people do. I don't know.
Use the hashtags. Tweet love to Tubi.
Yes, and apparently the hashtag should be hashtag Wynonna Earp and hashtag Vengeance, right? Two separate hashtags. Yeah. So do that.
Yeah, just show the love.
Yeah, let's make sure we get some more Earp. Watch it.
Any other thoughts?
And hey,
I
like
feel like after the finale, we were in a much better mood.
we're a little raw. We're a little raw. I'm sure I'll feel better tomorrow when I watch it again.
I'll probably have more to say when I've seen it again
Yeah.
with subtitles and can actually just really
Take it all in.
Take it all in. Yeah. I
Yeah,
know
for
there's
sure.
a lot of nice moments, a lot of nice conversations that were had that we didn't even, like, we just kind of jumped around
We're
it.
just
A lot of good things. Yeah.
A lot of good things.
Yeah.
Great.
No, it's really good.
Yeah,
A lot of
I'm
really good stuff.
crazy happy to have it back because like other shows don't make me feel like this.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm raw, but again I'll watch it later and I'll still be sad about certain things, but there'll be all these other little things that I pick up, Easter eggs I'm sure that I've missed. But yeah, like what a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, the finale, season 4 finale, was hard to top
Mm-hmm.
because there's so many. You know, she tied up so many loose ends and arcs, and a lot of very satisfying ending. And this was a hard thing. Like, this is a hard special to write and to make good. You know, like, how do you outdo the
Yeah.
finale? I think it was good. I think she
it
did
was
a
really
good job. There's a lot
She
of
warned us about the ending.
She warned us, and you know, you can't.
But she couldn't have tied it up tight because if you want people to want more,
Yeah, you can't keep
you
tying
can't be
up.
like, oh, that was great, that was satisfying.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, yeah, it was very strategic.
People had to die, and they did.
2 people. She killed 2
It was
people
a
in this
bookend.
one.
She bookended us.
Justice for Mercedes. I don't think.
Wow.
Add her to the
I'm gonna
list.
hold my own wake for
Calamity
Mercedes.
Jane,
Yeah.
and then Mercedes.
Yeah.
What are you more upset about?
Tara's gonna
Calamity
cosplay
Jane.
Calamity Jane's
as-
not dead, so
Tara, I'm so sorry. I
I
love
don't know
you.
what you're talking
No,
about.
I love you, and I feel like as your friend, I need to help you work through this. I don't think.
Oh, we
Calamity
forgot
Jane's
to tell you this
alive.
was a support group today.
This is an intervention.
She's out there.
Okay, so then, okay.
Are you going to cosplay at the convention as Danny's funeral she deserved?
Oh, that's interesting.
Cosplay as the funeral she deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
I'll
figure
have
that
to think
out.
about that concept.
You're very
yeah.
creative. You can
I'll
figure
just
it out.
wear like a diorama of like what it should look like.
Somebody should go as her picture with like a frame around
Oh,
them.
so
Oh, yeah.
good. So good. And then Jan Arden is in literally one scene.
But so worth
She
it.
got like
I saw her
third
fuzzy in
billing.
the background. I was like, here she comes.
She's coming.
That's totally funny.
So
Here
funny.
She comes.
My gosh. Not bad for one day of work, you know?
And she just lives down the street. So she probably just like, yeah, I can swing by on my way
Yeah.
to Winn-Dixie or I don't know, whatever.
I can be there, no problem.
Oh, big muffins. Oh, God. I fucking love this show.
And are you comfortable?
I've never podcasted so comfortably in my life. Anywho.
You look comfortable. Oh, man. What a ride, huh?
But I'm excited, too, because you guys will have new content
I
out when you're moderating.
I know.
I'm
It's
very
the first
excited
time
for that.
I'll have new content.
Yeah.
It's going to be really cool.
Don't disappoint us.
Okay.
You have very fresh questions.
All right. Thanks for that. Yeah, there's plenty to talk about.
Yeah.
There's plenty to talk about.
Sweet.
Yeah, lots of questions.
Get to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to need better notes than you took.
This
69.
This is all I'm bringing with me to Calgary.
Cunt. T2.
Tell me about cunt. What was that like?
Studio Bitchy 4. That is such a good line. That's a good line.
I'm sure I missed tons.
Emily, tell us, how did you come up with Studio Bitchy 4?
That was great.
Whose idea was it to put 69 on the cop car?
I know. So good.
It was all Emily.
Just think of the things we may have missed.
I know we missed a bunch
Yeah.
of shit.
Time. Let's put it back on.
Okay, let's watch it again.
we will rewatch.
Should we watch it again?
That her daughter was in that scene, the flashback scene
In the barn?
She was one of the like.
One of the bitchy girls.
What?
Well,
Do
her
you know-
daughter does modeling.
Yeah. Do you know
Oh.
which one it was? She was.
Yeah, now
That's
that I know to watch
that's
for it, I'd be able to
exciting.
tell.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
That's very cute.
Nepotism.
And then they say the whole nepotism
Nepo
line.
baby.
Yeah.
That's very funny. 100%. All right. Well, how do we wrap this up? Anything else? Anybody else want anything else to say, or
No.
we just look sad? Like
I feel like I have been to 2 funerals.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
And nobody got us a loaf of bread.
It's not too late. Well, because Noe's not here. That's why there's
I
no
know.
bread here.
Far less chips.
Well, that was very good. Thank you, Emily.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yes.
you're listening.
Hey, thank
Loved
you.
it.
Thank you,
Sorry
Tubi.
about
Thank
the
you, Tubi.
voicemail.
Sorry about
Josh, Tubi, Emily.
Tubi.
And now that I've sobered up a little bit, I regret it.
Adam.
Slightly. I tried to delete it, but it turns out I can only delete it on my end.
Oh boy.
It's still there.
Can you play it for us right now?
No, I deleted it, but it's still there.
Oh.
I can't. It says delete for you.
Oh boy.
no.
Well, what's the point of that? Just so you don't have
So
the
I
memory of the
just
stupid
don't
thing you
remember
did?
that I did
You don't
it.
have to look at it.
It's fine. It'll never come up to haunt me. I'm sure.
Those things never do.
I'm sure Emily is getting lots of disgruntled voicemails.
It's so buried in all the other messages she has. I'm sure it's fine.
We'll
Hey,
find
Emily
out.
went bold. I'm here for it. She'll fix it.
That's why she's good.
Yeah.
Of course she'll
If
she'll fix
anyone
it.
can fix this, Emily can fix
Of course.
this. In an interview she did, she said she purposely loves to write her way into sticky situations.
There you go.
So that she can get herself out of them.
That's great. Okay. I have faith.
I have total faith.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel great. I'm a little upset.
Sure. I think that was the point,
But
right? I think we're supposed to be.
sometimes when you love people, you get upset with them.
Sure.
But we can get through this.
We will get through
We
this.
will get through this, I'm sure.
Mm.
All it's going to take is another show.
So yeah, watch this thing a lot. Let's get some hours in the books for Wynonna Earp Vengeance.
Mhm.
All right.
Well,
Time for.
you can catch us on the Twitter.
We sound so sad.
And we can go back on
Go
Twitter.
around
That's
the
not
room and say
podcast
your
with one
favorite
D.
thing that happened.
Oh,
Oh, okay. You go first.
Okay. Jackie, help me.
Favorite thing. Let's see. Let me look
No,
at my notes.
I said do
Yeah,
a
pick
favorite
one thing from your notes there, Kat.
Yeah, I really did enjoy seeing Wynonna in the geeky cop outfit. That was very cute. And I mean, I did like the schmexy times, even though they were short.
Nedley with his fatherly wisdom.
Oh, for sure.
Getting everybody into gear.
Always good.
Oh, and also when he was doing donuts and knocking down the
that was
lemons,
fun.
that was good too.
Yeah, that was really fun. Doc jumped in.
the
Called
dog
him,
jump was
you
fun.
Yeah.
You old coot.
Jumped. It was like a reunion, and like,
That was
woo!
cute. That was really cute. I like Doc's glasses. I thought it was if you're a Doc fan, which I am, it's a great episode. It's heartbreaking, but he's Henry. He's not Doc. He's Henry. Doc Holliday's gone, and now Henry's gone too.
They're both gone.
What else did I like?
That was fun.
That was fun. But yeah, listen, Wynonna and Nicole banter. I can just never get enough of that. I can never get enough of that.
The Hallmark line.
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Hallmark line that
That's
Nicole
very
had was
good.
very fun.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I liked the before everything went terrible. Well,
Yeah.
like just
So the first
Nicole
the first
walking
minute?
around the town and
That was cute.
and just seeing them all hanging out
Yeah.
again and
Everything being good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they did promise during our interviews some domestic way hot. So I like to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Just, yeah. And again, we know it can't it'd be boring, I guess, if it was nothing happened
exactly.
and it was just everybody hanging out. But I guess I miss the episodic feeling where you get to have some more of those kind of wacky times.
Yeah.
And it's just not everything is like life or death
Dire.
the whole time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the ups and the downs and the ups and the downs, and it's like
But they still could fit some sexy time in there. So that's priorities. They weren't too worried about her coming back to cut them all into pieces. So.
Yep, that's fair. Wendy, what do you got?
It'll probably change on a rewatch, but I don't know. For some reason, when Nedley Nicole chat, with the line, I really like that whole conversation.
Yeah.
And when I rewatch it, something else may jump out. But at the time, I remember thinking, I really like this. I really like this scene. So we'll see if it changes. But I like that.
Yeah.
The Nedley wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And Nicole had her own wisdom. I liked it.
She did.
I didn't like Nedley in the beginning of the series, and he just really grew on me.
Mm-hmm.
Especially him and Nicole.
We weren't supposed to like him at the
I
beginning,
know.
right?
Was it
Yeah,
young
it was
Nedley
Dick.
arresting Wynonna?
Sounded
From
like
the back?
It.
Yeah.
Sounded like it. Yeah. It sounded like him on the PA.
And then putting her in the car, they kind of showed from the back.
Yeah,
that
of
was
course.
probably Nedley.
Yeah, for sure.
There was some BTS pictures at EDE that Emily shared.
Okay.
None of those pictures showed up here.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't think so.
You want to tell us what pictures?
Well, one was like it was like a picture of Nicole as sheriff, like hanging on the wall. One was like some iconography that looked like kind of Revenant-esque or something.
Interesting.
And I didn't see those anywhere.
Is it like set dressing? Wait, like stuff on walls and stuff?
Like, I think one was I think the Nicole one was probably on a wall somewhere in the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
The other one looked like it was like on a billboard or something. I'll have to go back and look, but I don't recall seeing it in there. I think there's a lot of stuff left to be told.
Maybe it was stuff that was cut.
I'm sure there were a lot. There's like.
Because I don't think she was in the... When was EDE?
They were editing when they were there.
editing? Interesting.
Hmm.
Huh. Okay. Well. Lots of questions. All right. Well. You want to say that Twitter thing again, Wendy?
Twitter. That's not podcast with 1D.
And Facebook and Instagram at She Nerds Out Podcast.
You can send us an email at shenerdsout@gmail.com. Let us know what your favorite moments were. How much sexy time did you think there should have been?
How could they have also used strategic camera angles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear all
Any
that.
thoughts? Yeah.
Please. Yeah. We have
Drawings. They like that.
diagrams.
They utilized the bathroom to get away with some of that stuff.
A
Do what?
bathroom?
You want to expand on that, Jackie?
Like
What?
a bathtub.
Oh, a bath.
Oh, that's a good idea.
She did make that line. Nicole had the line about how she likes a good soak.
Yeah, like a good soak.
Would you think there's maybe a bathtub scene out there that didn't make it in?
Interesting.
That would have been smart
That is really smart.
for Nicole or for Waverly to sit in front of her in the bathtub.
A callback to when she got drowned.
Interesting.
But I like to think that they had a soak and we just didn't get it.
Maybe they. Do you think they
Left
shot?
out. It
the
was
soak?
too sexy.
It's too sexy. Too sexy.
Too wet for prime time. Couldn't handle it. If you want to send some snail mail, you can do that at Snot Podcast, P.O. Box 6732, Burbank, California, 91510.
I can't believe you've memorized that.
I have it just on the tip of my head,
It's amazing.
tip of my tongue,
So
top
impressed.
of my head.
So impressed.
You can find me at Why Not P on Twitter.
All right. Well, we did it. I
We
guess.
did. That was a thing. We did.
Yeah.
That happened.
Well,
Now it's going to be like the post-convention depression.
Right?
Yeah.
At least we only have a few more weeks
Yeah.
Yeah.
to
Yes.
be depressed.
And then after Calgary, we have Audible. So
There you
they're still Earping to be Earped.
a lot of Earping to be.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this is where I wrap up and say, until the next Wynonna Earp movie. Or until next week.
Okay.
She nerds out.
Ouch.
She nerds out. We're girls that like nerdy